Kuphina kuphi emakhaya amadolobheni asekomplasta khona lapho ubukela khona SABC 1 sasifikile ke thina lihlelo lakho ilungelo lakho it's your right silethela ke lihlelo lapho kumahamba phambili SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. Lona ke umsawa Ngcongwane lo ngiSimphiwe Ngcongwane legama lami bukele ke so many consumers particularly the pensioners are battling to make ends meet due to the high cost of living, yet some are wondering why they cannot access their monies locked in pension funds to ease their suffering. Ingabe ke umthetho lobhekene nema pension funds usivumela ukuthi sitfolele okunganani kuma pension fund ethu. Uphendvule lo mbuto ke sina sonke Dandala lobuya ke government employees pension fund akahambi yethu ke unaye Nomsa Ledwaba lovela ka Liberty Life. Sanibukele ehlelweni sabonani.
Hayi Simphiwe.
Molweni Simphiwe.
Siyabonga kakhulu
nababukeli.
Siyabonga kakhulu ukuhlanganyela nathi. Sisinomsa ngidawucela ngabe ukuthi ke what is it that consumers need to know? Yini ke lekumele ukwazi concerning kuma pension funds abo?
Kuma pension funds xa ngaba sewufikelele kwixesha le retirement.
Yeah.
Kubalekile ukubana umuntu oya kwi pension ahlale phansi ne financial planner yakhe o yaleyo company ayisebenzelayo ambonise because it's a new journey ubana ngoku uzawufumana imali yakho ye pension and then this is how you need to structure it in terms of making an income in the end.
Yeah. Ngoba ke kunesikhalo lesikhulu ukuthi lamanye ke ama pension fund you can't actually access their pensions in terms in cases of emergency. Ngoba kahle kahle yabani kanzi le mali?
Imali ye pensioner at that time. Kodwa ke because ibi imali ebeyibekelwa yi-employer yakhe, contribution ye-employer ne-contribution yakhe. So u-retirement ke ngoku ngelishwa fanele ahlaliswe phansi acaciselwe into bana much as imali yakho kodwa i-restricted, ine restrictions. You can have some of it in cash lump sum and then enye ngokomthetho kuyanyanzeleka umthetho we-Pensions Funds Act ukubana kuthengwe lento okuthiwa yi-annuity income. Yes. So i-annuity income ke ngoku akusiyimali ozawuthi mhlawumbe i-expenses zam zi-20,000 umzekelo. And then izo dependa ngobana ile mali esamba othenga ngaso, le capital othenga ngayo okanye le fund value othenga ngayo i-annuity yakho yimalini. That will determine your annuity income. So ibuye ke ngoku ithi le lifestyle bewuyiphila ngaphambili ukwazi ukwenza noba yintoni ofuna ukuyenza ngemali yakho, you need to adjust. Because xa sekufika kwa pension ayiseyo salary lewe uqhele ukuyifumana, say reduced because of the structure of the pension fund. Yes. So umthetho oba kwa Pension Funds Act utsho kanjalo ukuthi unelungelo loba ufumane isamba and then ngenye uthenga annuity, which is whereby the financial planner or advisor comes in. Kule oyifumana isisamba kwa financial planning kubalekile into bana singayibhubhuzelisa imali. Xa uyifumana leyo 1/3 yakho, meaning ingxenye yale pension yakho, still ungahlala phansi ne financial planner yakho nabantu abanolwazi ngokubekwa kwemali, niyilungise kakuhle, niplanele ubana izokuqhubha. Abanye abantu ke bhuti Simphiwe benza kanjena ngoba kaloku xa si retire some of us sisenezikweleti. Abanye bethu sisenabantwana basesikolweni uyayibona. So esasamba siye sincede apho. Abanye abantu baye bathathe esasamba umuntu avale pha ezizikweleti ezinkulu. Azi ke ngoku into bana ngale shekileyo ebizwa ngokuba yi-2/3 eyibalance yileke ngikwazi kwenza ngayo uzawunkinkishwa i-income nyanga nenyanga. Aphile ngayo but kubalekile into bana azubana ngoku funeka kuthweni ku-adjustiwe. Yes.
Okay. Dandala umvile ke Nomsa lapha ukhala ngekuthi ke imali ma pension funds ema pensioners kuthi kanzi isn't it for rainy days i-pension kanzi ngoba phela abantu ke they are under the impression ukuthi ke i-pension is for rainy days and rainy days may not necessarily come after you are 60.
Uwatye onke usisinomsa benzawuthetha ke mina kwicala le-GPF ubunganivumela Simphiwe. Okokuqala ke i-GPF i-pension fund yabantu abasebenzela urhulumente kwisigaba se-provincial no-national government.
Okay.
yona ke ayilawulwa phansi kwe-Pension Funds Act, ilawulwa phansi kwe-Government Employees Pension Law esithi i-GP law. Sikhona into ezininzi ezifana na kwi-Pension Funds Act kodwa ingumthetho wayo owodwa. Yona ke i-GP law iyasiqinqela ukuba amalungu e-pension fund ayifumana kanjani imali xa kutheni. Kunomthetho osibekelayo uba yonke la mali ibalwa ngoluphi uhlobo. So yonke le minyaka umuntu esebenza ikhona emithethweni kwi-rules and regulations ze-fund uba imali yakho uzayifumana kanjani. Imali ikhutshwa umuntu xa ethatha umhlala phansi going on retirement, umuntu angayifumana imali xa iyeka emsebenzini on resignation, umuntu uyayifumana imali xa ethe ngemeko zokugula nongaphili nongabi nempilo enhle ayeke emsebenzini sithi ill health, umuntu akwazi nokuyifumana imali yakhe kuba edischargewe emsebenzini ngezizathu ezithile. Uyekile emsebenzini okanye kune retrenchment okanye kune restructuring uyakwazi uyifumana imali. So into ebalulekileyo kwelethu icala yokuba siqinqelwe thina uba imali masiyikhuphe kanjani xa kutheni, xa kwenzeke kanjani. So umsebenzi wayo imali njengoba sitshilo usisinomsa imali yamalungu ebekelwe uba xa beyiyekile bethatha umhlala phansi kwaye xa bephuma enzela uba babe nemali ezokwazi ukubaphilisa, ezokwazi ukubagcina.
Nakhona iyafana le mthetho ukuthi ngakhona kuthatha 1/3 as sizumbulo and then the rest,
Yes.
the other 2/3 on a monthly basis.
Masize apho masithathe aba bantu abaya kwi-pension abaretirishayo kunye ne-GP.
Yes.
Nowethu umthetho wahamba njalo. I-pension umuntu uyakwazi ufumana 1/3 wepension yakhe. Ayifumane isisixa or as isamba njengoba esitsho usisinomsa. Emva koko kube ne-2/3 ke ngoku le siyohlulayo umuntu ayifumane inyanga nenyanga. Umahluko ke ngoku kwi-GPF uqala kule ndawo. Imali le yi-2/3 ayifumana ngenyanga kuthiwa yi-monthly annuity. It's what we call, it is guaranteed for 5 years. So siyayisplita la mali i-monthly amount for over 5 years. I think dizilibele inyanga ukuzabaleka, but over 5 years. So kwi-GPF ukuphela kwe-5 years imali yakho obuyikhupha ngokwe-contributions usaphangela so ifumene yonke, seyibhatalwe yonke kuwe. Siyohlula kanjalo 1/3 upfront eya kuwe ibe kubu ibeka kanjani ibe yi-2/3 that's guaranteed for 5 years. Ukuphela kwe-5 years imali yakho ubuyisebenzela, your contributions and your employer's contributions are now depleted ngelo xesha. Kodwa i-GPF iqhubeke ukubhatale that same amount, ufumane increase every year uze uyosweleka. Ngoku la mali uyifumana after like 5 years seyiphuma kwingxowa ye-GPF. It's your privilege as a member of the GPF that you continue to draw a monthly pension until the day that you pass on. Okay. But that portion that was your pension interest has now been spent after 5 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Sinomsa, before we get deeper into the conversation, sicela ukuthi usicacisele ukuthi yini ke umehluko emkhathini kwanaku kuthiwa bo retirement annuity, bo pension or retirement funds. Yini ke lo mehluko ke before we go further?
Enkosi kakhulu ngalombuzo. So kune retirement annuity. I-retirement annuity is an investment or a savings that I am doing for myself, you are doing for yourself at your own capacity. Okay. That one, contributions has got nothing to do with the employer. It has got something to do with you as a person. So nguwe oyilawulayo in terms of contributions. And then even if uchincha umsebenzi namhlanje usebenzela ucompany A ngomso usebenzela ucompany B uyaqhubeka nale retirement annuity. Uyenzela ntoni le retirement annuity? Wenzela ukuthi xa sewuretire emsebenzini njengobona la pension or provident fund i-top up uyagcwalisa. Uzawuretire kuyo le mali at retirement. So i-structure sayo sinjena xa uqala ungena ku-retirement annuity funeka uzazi into yobana this investment is restricted in terms of the Pension Funds Act. Awukwazi ubana as and when kufikelwa zi-rainy days ucinga ubana manike ndihambe ndiye phaya ndinemali phayana.
So angikhoni kuyi-access at all i-retirement annuity?
It's restricted until earliest age 55.
Okay.
That's a retirement annuity.
Yes.
You also receive tax rebates, so it is very beneficial to an individual to have that kind of an investment.
Okay.
And then coming to the pension or provident fund, now the structure is different there. The structure, Payana, it's because of the relationship between an employer and an employee. So there are contributions between the two parties. So the employers are trying to say to us, let's discipline you. You know, because if I'm paying you a salary of 60,000 rands and say to you, Amba, nansi imali yakho, amba uzenzela i-retirement, will you do it?
Yeah, but thinking ngathi no.
Yes.
Ama problems atawuthi no.
I-lifestyle yakho seyenyuka,
Yes.
ngoba ngoku unale income yakho yakuvumela.
Yes.
You forget completely that ngenye imini uzawuba na 65, you have to stop working and awunamali. So
Okay.
the employers, therefore, they try to discipline us by enforcing this. They give it to us free of charge. Guti, here is a plan for you, save when you are retiring. Sizayilawula ke ngelishwa. You can't just have it as and when, nayo. So, masithi ke ngoku, I am in this journey with this employer. I am, njengoba seketshilo Bhutiseko, I am not yet at retirement. Dina 50. And something happens to me or I resign from the employer, I'm allowed to cash imali yam. I'm allowed to preserve it. I'm
Under what
allowed.
circumstances though? Uma ngixoshiwe, uma ngiretrenchiwe, uma ngiresignile.
Thank you. If you resign, you've got options.
Yes.
You can transfer your provident pension money into your new employer, or you can preserve it
Okay.
in fund.
Okay.
Ishiye khona apha ikhule. Uzawuphinda uthi xa uyidingayo ubuye uzonkqonkqoza xa uretire.
Okay.
Or if ufuna ukuyidla imali yakho uzayidla kodwa wazi ukuthi subject to tax.
This is so interesting. Please hold your thoughts and
Thank
please
you.
siqhubeke ngale conversation emva kwale khefu. Mbukele kwanyelo asesishelele ngasetitolo. Please do join us after this break. Leli Yilungelo Lakho. You don't want to miss this discussion. Please stay tuned. Sinabukela futhi bekunene tincingo tethu solo tivuliwe ukuthi ke nawe ungaba ingcenye inkulumo yethu ungasishayela kwicingo ku 011-714-6918 noma ke 011-714-6919 ungasithumela futhi ne-email ku consumer@sabc.co.za ungasithola futhi na ku Facebook. Please pick up your phones and call us right now. And speaking of which, we've got the first caller. Sina Mr. Mabelane from la Epitori. Sakumele ehleleni baba, sawubona?
Siyabona baba, kunjani?
Siphilile kunjani baba?
Hayi siyaphila.
Number 1, khuluma nathi baba.
Yebo man, ngicela ukubuza ku GPEF, something like that.
GEPF, yeah. Government Employees Pension Fund, yes.
Ama beneficiaries wakhona. Bengicela ukubuza kwenzeke ukuthi umuntu ashort. Ma i-beneficiary iclaima ithola imali yayo yonke or iba divided. And ihluka kanjani ne-pension? There is a pension and that one, or is only that one on phela?
Okay, Mr. Mabelane, great question. Thank you so much for calling us. Tini ntefu ke titakuphendvula ke. Babethu Ndala.
Hayi simpi umbuzo uyavakala. Xa into ebalulekileyo kuqala kulo mbuzo ubuzwa ngutata efuna ukucacisa. Siyacela amalungu e-GPF abe nento okuthiwa i-beneficiary nomination form.
Yes.
Kwi-beneficiary nomination form uyabhala pha utsho ukuba kwenzeka ndingabisekho ndicela imali yam niyibhatale ubani nobani nobani nobani, and you list the percentages uba imali yakho masiyohlule kanjani. Ngeyona nto isincedayo leyo ebalulekileyo. Xa umuntu enze kanjalo imali yakhe izinto zimbini zawubalela into ezintathu ezibalulekileyo.
Yeah.
Eyokuqala, there is the main pension benefit, death benefit, or the pension interest of the member eshiyikileyo. Yile mali ebeyicontributa kuyo yonke le minyaka. That's the large sum amount. Lo mali ke ngoku into sizawuyenza ukushiya ukuba awusekho sizawuyahlula ngezi percentages othe wena masiyohlule ngayo. Into ebalulekileyo asithethi nge-will.
Yes.
Funeka wenze i-beneficiary nomination form yase-GPF uyifake kwa-HR izofika kuthi enza into zakho xa uswelekile zibe kuthi siyazi ayihluphi so la pension interest yakho noba imalini 2 million 5 million sizoyihlula ngeza percentages othande wena uba siyohlule ngayo.
I'm actually glad you raised
Yeah.
the issue ye will.
It's the
And I
most
want us to
important
go
thing.
off topic just a little bit. Ukuthi ke nawukhuluma nge-will, which supersedes which? Because i-will kungenteka kube like ama-nominations e-will ahlukile kunama-nominations e-nomination form under GEPF.
Simphiwe ngizawuthetha ngokwe-GPF usisinomsa angangena kwi-private pension funds. Njengoba benditshilo i-GPF inomthetho wayo, i-GP law. We are very clear. Owethu umthetho uthi masifune i-beneficiary nomination form.
Yes.
I-will yinto engangeniyo kwi-pension.
Nangabe ayikho ke le nomination form because people are uninformed, misinformed, noma ke bangathi ukuthi kumele bente i-nomination form, but i-will ikhona.
Yeah. I-will
What then happens?
I-will ayingeni kwi-pension, ingena with all the assets of the deceased and it ingena kwimizi yakhe nemoto zakhe nentoni. Does not affect the GEPF pension. What we do xa ingekho i-nomination form, kwa imithetho lo uyasiqinqela uba masenze kanjani. Into ezibalulekileyo is there a spouse,
Yes.
a legal spouse, whether married in customary law or civil law, or if bewukhona situation kamasihlalisana umuntu uyakwazi uapplyela i-life partnership and prove ba lo muntu besihlala as man and wife, or as in same-sex marriage, same thing, everything applies. So that's the key thing. Is there a spouse? Are there beneficiaries, as in legal children, biological children, legally adopted children? That is what we consider. That's the information that we request. We take that information and then we distribute the pension based on that information.
Okay.
So umzekelo, for example, i-will uzawufumanisa umuntu ubhale kwi-will abantwana bakhe basemtshatweni wabakhupha aba bangekho semtshatweni. GPF does not recognize that. All children should benefit from the pension, whether they are from your marriage or from outside your marriage. So zinto ezinjalo sizigadileyo, i-will ziba nezo problems.
So in
which
short,
is why we
just
must
in summary,
follow,
in summary, EGEPF only recognizes in nomination form.
Yeah,
So will does not recognize it.
I-will does not come
Okay.
into play. It does not come into play. We need to follow the rules as stipulated in the GP law.
Okay.
Ndicela ukugqibezela lambuzo katata. So kunala mali ke, so siyohlula ke imali yakhe le main pension interest, siyohlule ke masithi khona nomination form, then ikhutshelwe abantwana and the spouse ngokwe percentages zakhe. Further to that, there are other benefits now that if families of fumana that accrue from the person having been a member of the GPF. These are what we call non-contributory benefits. The member did not contribute to these benefits while they were working. They contributed to the main pension. Benefits. Sibhadala a funeral benefit to help towards the funeral of the deceased, which also applies to the member, the spouse of the member, and children of the member. It's a non-contributory benefit. Ikhutshwa yi-GPF, kwawusweleka ilungu le-GPF, nkosikazi wanye abantwana bayo. We pay what is called a child pension. Umntwana obenomzali obesebenzela urhulumente ongaphansi kwe-age of 21 years and under applies for a child pension, and that pension is paid until the child turns 22 years old. That's a non-contributory benefit. And the last one is the spouse pension. Furthermore, njengoba umuntu oswelekileyo belilungu uye wasweleka kanti behola mhlambi imali yenyanga nenyanga, leyo mali leyo ngoku iyakwazi igqithele kumlingani wakhe. And then ihambe ngokuba i-nomination ebeyithathile yoba uzawufumana umlingani uzawufumana 50% or up to 75% of what the member was getting, which again is another non-contributory benefit. So those are benefits over and above. So kuphendula utata kubhatalwa le mali eyi-pension kube nezi benefits ezibhatalwa i-beneficiaries.
Thanks for making those points. Very valid points. Siyabonga kakhulu sathemba ukuthi nabamabelana naye has been assisted. Now Nomsa, just before you weigh in on what you've already said in terms of private pensions, earlier on you were just taking us through the different forms of pension, provident fund, pension funds, retirement annuities, and under what circumstances ulonga access ngawo lawo funds lawo when you get retrenched, fired, or even resigning.
Okay, so let me start with the retirement annuity.
Yes.
So the retirement annuity, as I mentioned earlier on, that it is restricted until up to 55, but there are ways where that can be accessible. There is a minimum amount now that was approved in 2021 by the Minister of Finance that if your fund value is sitting at about 15,000, it used to be 7.5, 15,000 now, and you need the money, you can have it.
Okay.
That is subject to tax at any time before retirement, your retirement annuity, right?
Okay.
And then again, when to access the retirement annuity, if the policy owner or the investor is ill, you are not well, you are disabled, you can no longer work anymore.
Yes.
Of course, there will be doctors that will assess your condition. Then that's the time whereby the retirement annuity can be paid to you. And then lastly would be on death. So if tomorrow you die, God forbid, and then you have nominated beneficiaries, that fund value eshegileyo is payable to the nominated beneficiaries. That is a retirement
As a lump sum,
annuity.
noma nakhona sibuyela kulo 2/3.
No, there is no 2/3 at death. It's a lump sum. Because
Okay.
remember that the beneficiaries are not the policy owners. They
I
are
see,
just
I see.
beneficiaries.
Got
So
you, got
the
you.
money will be distributed according to the percentages that were initially nominated or forwarded to the company by the deceased.
Okay.
So those are the three reasons by when can we access the retirement annuity.
Okay.
And then coming to the pension fund. Pension fund, you are working, I am working, and then I get retrenched. So at retrenchment, you can access it. And then at retirement, at resignation, and death. So death, again, it goes to the nominated beneficiaries. It comes as a lump sum, or if there are minors, then the Board of Trustees will decide if they would do an annuity for the little ones. Because you can't give a 16-year-old 2 million.
Sure.
It has to be annuitized so that the guardian of the particular beneficiary or minors can be able to look after them until they reach maturity.
Sure.
Same applies to the Provident. The Provident fund is also the same in terms of accessibility. When you are retrenched, when you are resigning, you can access that money, and then as well as at retirement. On death, if you were still an active or in service, then the balance or the fund value, all of it is going to be distributed amongst your beneficiaries.
Okay. Got that. All right, let's take our next caller. Sina Lindiwe ulapha ke eThekwini sakumola ehleleni sawubona. Lindiwe from Durban. Good afternoon.
Hello, kunjani bhuti?
Siphilile kunjani mama?
Ngiyaphila bhuti.
Number 1. Khuluma nathi mama. What's on your mind?
Ngicela ukubuza la bhuti. Sibe nenkinga. I was working to another company ngeke ngimention. Saba nenkinga yama salary cards. Umqashi wathi uzosendela ama salary cards. Saphuma saya ku strike. So sisa ku strike leso esisemthethweni wasi retrench. So ayikafiki leya pension date yethu. So asazi manje ukuthi sikuphi, like we do have that pension fund encane or what else, because nje kukhona inkinga.
Okay, so Silindiwe siyabonga kakhulu ukusishayela ukhona ke nomsaka utasicacisela.
Thank you so much. So in the event whereby an employee is being retrenched, and that particular employees were contributing into a pension or provident fund fund, then they are supposed to be paid off their contributions. The fund value of their pension or provident fund must be payable back to them because they are no longer active employees of that particular company.
So nakhona ke, do the laws still apply? Ukuthi uthola ilump sum noma ke 2/3 with retrenchment?
At retrenchment and resignation, you are not 55, umzekelo.
Yes.
So you are way before retirement. So the 2/3 and then 1/3 as they apply.
Okay.
They apply at class 55
only.
Yes.
Which means ke ku retrenchment I can get the lump
Yonke
sum.
imali yakho
Oh, okay.
subject to tax.
Okay.
Funa ukuba ndiyicindezele le tax.
Yes.
Ngoba kaloku
Ngoba hayi khona.
uzawufumana istatement sithi 200,000 ungalibali into bana u-taxman ukhona phaya ukulindile.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, asishiye lapho ke. Bekumina sasijikela ngasetitolo. Please do stay with us. Stop in, just be very careful. Welcome back, everybody. Namhla ke mbukele ke sikhuluma ke ukuthi ke ingabe i-pension fund yakho, how do you access it? Nangabe if you have to access it, ukuthi under what circumstances lolo ngayitfola ngakhona ngoba ke imbuto leminingi lebe siyitfola ke ngaphambilini ukuthi ke khona ke labanye labangakhoni ku-accessa noma ke kuboleka kuma-pension fund abo. Labanye bathi buta ukuthi kanjani ngoba phela yami le mali. So please pick up that call and call us. Participation lines are now open 0117146918 noma ke 0117146919. You can email your thoughts to consumer@sabc.co.za. Ungaphinda uhlanganyele futhi nasi ke ku Facebook. So we're waiting to hear your call. Now Nomsa, sesivile ke from a government perspective ukuthi ke i-will ihamba kanjani nethi ke i-nomination ihamba kanjani. Do the same laws apply on the like in the private space?
So it will under the private space. I can't say it 100% supersedes the nomination form, because if someone is normal and you nominate.
Okay, so private pensions, do I require to have a nomination form?
Yes, yes.
Is it a must?
It has to be there, because
Okay.
if you do not nominate anyone, it's gonna auto-nominate your estate.
Oh,
Meaning, if I win a beneficiary and tomorrow I'll say kwemhlabeni, your fund value gets payable into your estate. Whomever osemalungelweni we estate yako will go and apply. So if there is a will, then the trustees will handle that. If there is no will, then all the beneficiaries fanele baye ku Master of High Court to apply, and then they will qualify if they actually are the right beneficiaries to be paid those proceeds.
And now back to my question ke ukuthi nangabe i-will ikhona ne-nomination form ikhona and the beneficiaries ahlukile, so which one do you pay out?
So when there is a will and there's a nomination form, the trustees, they make a decision on behalf of the beneficiaries. How do they do this? Because sometimes if there is a younger child, there is a younger child and then there is an adult who is also a child to the deceased. But this one is already working. The youngest is not. So what they do, they make a decision to pay or to distribute the fund value accordingly. So the youngest must get more. And
Really?
then, yes, and then the one that is an adult who's already working, or having a business will definitely, because that one, she's still growing. So he still need to be taken care of. There is no way that, so let me put it like that, it's upon the trustee's discretion in terms of the ages.
Yes.
The age is taken into consideration. The employment is taken care of, is also taken into consideration. And then, yes, those are the two considerations that they take. So it's their discretion. So they have a look into the will, and then they look into the beneficiary nominations, and then they decide.
Okay, so it's entirely their discretion.
Yes, it's their discretion.
Kepha ngibona kutawususa umsindo lo, yeah.
Uba ngingangena nami apho wena Simphiwe into mhlambe just ukongeza kule nto bese ndiyithethile nge-beneficiary nomination. Ibalulekile i-beneficiary nomination form. Kodwa nayo the trustees or the fund needs to look at that beneficiary nomination. Bendithethe ngomzekelo uba kukhona amadoda anabantwana ngaphandle komtshato. Angabafaki abantwana kwi-beneficiary nomination yakhe, even though they are even minor children.
Yeah.
Yingxaki leyo. So the board, the trustees can overrule that nomination form.
Okay.
Because kunyanzelekile abantwana abazi-minors have to have a share in the pension fund of the parent. So umzekelo into yenzeka kakhulu sifumanisa uba i-beneficiary nomination yangena ithi abantwana bam bathathu mabafumane le nale, kuvele omnye umama oaplayayo othi nami owami umntwana nanku. The trustees will overturn that will and give a share to the young child as well. So that's important. So nayo i-beneficiary nomination form ayondlela yokubalekela i-responsibilities zomuntu engumzali.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
So mabangayenzi lonto uzama ukufihla abanye abantwana ngolo hlobo.
All right, let's take our next caller. Sinaphumlile ulapha ke Potchefstroom. Sakumule ehleleni sawubona.
Yebo sawubona futhi.
Siyaphila kunjani mama?
Ngiyaphila.
Khuluma nathi mama. What's on your mind?
Bengisacela ukubuza kubhuti lo GPF if ngabe ingane ishonele umzali ingakafiki 22 yangazithola lezi imali yangaclaima le mali le ye funeral yangaclaima nale ethola until up ibe na 22 kufanele kwenziwe njani isuke seyidlulile isikhathi.
Okay, Phumlile siyabonga kakhulu umbuto wakho.
No, mhle umbuzo Simphiwe.
Yes.
I-benefits aziboli. Ibalekile lo ndawo le akho expiry date. Kodwa ke funeka sijonge siujonge umthetho umzekelo into ezizawungena ngaphakathi yoba umzali lo usweleke nini because i-benefits ezithile ezingene ngexesha elithile zaba applicable from a certain time. But ukuyifaka i-application yalo mntwana ayiboli akuthethi ngokuba umntana through ke mistake yokungazi masithi umzali usweleke umntwana ena 17 years azophaphama when she's 22 but I could have claimed a funeral benefit and a child pension. You can still submit those applications. They will be reviewed, we'll get all the necessary documentation esiyidingayo and then we will pay out if the claim is valid.
But niyabatrace yini ama-beneficiaries ama-funds la ngasi-claimed, la nga-unclaimed?
Siyazama kakhulu sinengxaki enkulu ye-unclaimed benefits. Sihlala sibakhuthaza abantu abangamalungu e-GPF ukuba they must keep their details up to date. Umuntu ahlale up to date i-beneficiary nomination form. I-beneficiary nomination form ifaka nanini na. I-form yoku-update i-details zakho uyifaka nanini na. Ungavuka ngomso uyichintshe i-beneficiary nomination form uthumele entsha xa uthanda. But into esiyidingayo sidinga i-information. Ingxaki esiba nayo ngabantu abangazenziyo umuntu ebesebenza apha eGautini abuyele ekhaya ezilalini emanqamzeni ngoku akusekho ndlela zangashiye beneficiary nomination form zangashiye i-details zakhe siba nezo ngxaki. Siyazama ukutracer ngokuqala mhlambi kule ndawo ebesebenza kuyo i-colleagues zakhe niyamazi ba uphi kanjani xa nazo i-colleagues zingazi sibe nalo problem ke ngoku yokuba singamfumani. Kodwa imali yakhe ihleli ikhona e-GPF so uba uye wavumbuka after 10 years uba imadoda imali yami zandi yithathe afake izinto zakhe afake amaphepha alungileyo imali yakhe uzayifumana.
Okay, so Nomsa ngumalini le mali le ngitfola on a monthly basis and naleyo amount leyo is it determined by yourselves noma ke determinwa ngimi nangithatha leyo package the very same day ngithatha le package leyo and iyashintsha yini njengoba simo semnotfo sishintsha every now and then and the high cost of living and the demands of of life?
Thank you so much for that question. So ndike ndathi ekuqaleni but Simphiwe kubalekile into bana ufune ulwazi kwi-financial planners.
Yeah.
Abantu abafana nami kanjena. Awukwazi if uyi-financial planner uvele anikwazi ukukujonga ndithi I think ufanelwe isalary ethile at retirement. Hlalwa phansi kwenze lento ekuthiwa yi-budget. So nawe you need to be transparent unichazele ukuthi i-expenses zami after ndiretayile zinkunga.
Okay.
So then i-annuity income is going to be calculated based on your expenses and living expenses and needs. But that's another option. There is an option whereby kune annuities ezimbini ngabeka kanjalo. Kune annuity that you get for life. You receive it for life. It's fixed. Une choice yokufaka i-escalations ukuthi inyuke unyaka nonyaka. Or uyeke injalo, number 1. Number 2, ungangena kwenye nespouse sakho. Uba ngaba wena nenkosikazi yakho nixhomekeke kuni in terms of income ekhaya. So what happens is that ningena nobabini kule annuity yakho. So wena if you die tomorrow, God forbid, umama uyaqhubeka ne-annuity until naye ahambe emhlabeni. That's another option. And then the option yesithathu kuleyo ukuthi uyifumane for as long as you live is that you can select a guarantee term. So I guarantee term year 10 or 20 years eating. I've got this guarantee term. If I die, God forbid, within this guarantee term, the balance of this fund value is payable to my beneficiaries, right? If therefore now you live longer, you know, and that guarantee term elapses, should you die tomorrow, God forbid, your life annuity ceases. Pelile. So that's one. So that one, unfortunately, income yayo, to answer your question, it determinwa imali othenga ngayo, uthenga ngamalini. Dine 7 million income annuity yakho after tax kuzoba 40,000. It's fixed. If uyafuna, we can add increases every year. If awufuni, siyeke njalo. But uzayifumana for as long as you live. And then ASB, it's ekuthiwa living annuity. Now, a living annuity is different. It's flexible. You are nominated beneficiaries. You can choose the income, the annuity income that you want to earn, between 2.5% and 17.5% of your fund value.
Okay.
Right? And then after a certain year or years, if you want to switch from the living to life, you can.
Yes.
However, that one is not guaranteed for life because it depends entirely on the markets.
Right.
So the higher you withdraw, the higher percentage you withdraw your income, the chances are high that your fund value is going to be depleted before time. Yes. So, but because you were telling an advisor, Uguti, I want to earn 15,000 because my living expenses are such. Then asikwazi ukuma kangako, but zayibhala phansi ukuthi this is what you said. So xa iphelile imali iphelile, please don't come to us. But if you die tomorrow, God forbid, kusasenemali phayana, if ikona, then you had nominated beneficiaries, eshegileyo iyobhatalwa kuma beneficiaries.
Okay, asishiye lapho ke nomsa. Before you take a break, let's take our next caller. Kuna Sibongile kulapha inasport. Sakumele nhlelo sawubona?
Hello, njani?
Siyaphila kunjani mama?
Ngiyaphila baba.
Siyabonga. Ukhuluma nathi mama.
Mina ngiyi-life partner ya the late ngala kubhuti ku-GPF. And then ngive ukukhuluma ngemali le labayithola monthly ma-minor.
Yes.
So ngike ngiyakoyiclaima leyo mali leyo, but if i-partner yakho ishone ngale kwa-2019 awukhoni ukuyiclaima.
Okay.
Yes. So bengifuna kubuta ngaleyo mali leyo ngoba nginema-minor like 2.
Okay. Alright.
Yena wami washona 2011.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Siyabonga kakhulu umbuto wakho. Please stay tuned to SABC 1 Lungelo Lakho. Dandala ke utawuchazela ke ukuthi ke kumele ukuthi kwenziwe njani. Kwanyalo ke asesithathela ikhefu ungasanyakade imbukeli siyabuya leli Lungelo Lakho. Welcome back. Kuba ngcenye ke inkulumo yethu namhla ungasishayela kulicingo ku 01171469118 noma ke 01171469119. Ungasithumela futhi ne-email ku consumer@sabc.co.za. Ungaphinda uthole futhi na ku Facebook. Nabe ke uyasebenta ubhadala ke ama-pension. This is the program for you ngoba sikhuluma ke ngemalungelo akho ekuthene ke ingabe imali yakho ye-pension ungayithola kanjani and under what circumstances. Nekuthi unalo ilungelo lokuyithola leyo mali ungakafiki ku 55 noma ke ku 60 years. Now sisonke before that break besina Sibongile lapha ukhuluma ngendzaba ke indzaba lenkulu kabi beneficiation of minors. Just take us through that.
Yeah. So benefits se GPF masithethe le ibibuzwa ngusisi specifically child pension. It's what we call a non-contributory benefit.
Yeah.
Which means it comes out of the coffers of the fund. Iphuma kunqowamali we GPF. So as benefits ezi ngenxa yalonto kuba ziphuma kwifund zinemithetho nemiqathango ukuba abantu bazifumana kanjani. Ngelishwa lokasisi before ngo-2011 xa esweleka umlingani wakhe, the benefit at the time was known as orphans pension.
Okay.
Into ethetha ukuba umntwana uqualifya xa abazali bobabini bengasekho.
Yeah.
Sayifumanisa lonto sayibona ba ingxaki kuba kufumaniseka kuba umntwana ukhuliswa ngumama wakhe xa isweleka umama wakhe sithi makahamba ukhangela utata wakhe aze ne-death certificate katata wakhe kwafumaniseka uba yingxaki leyo. Sawutshintsha umthetho we-child pension ngoJune 2018. From June 2018 abanilungu asweleke from June 2018 ukuya phambili ke ngoku ayiseyo orphans pension seyi-child pension, which means umzali lowo omnye angasweleka umntwana oyiminor aqualify.
So yini ke kumele ukuthi Sibongile akwende manje? Noma ke yini loku wrong lekakwendile ukuze ukuthi ke angayitholi imali?
Akenzanga nto erongo uSibongile.
Yeah.
Ingxaki ukusweleka komlingane wakhe ngo-2011, the benefit did not apply.
Okay.
A benefit is not applied retrospectively.
Oh, okay.
Ubheka umva. It's only applied prospectively.
After 2018, yeah.
Asinawubuya umva, it only applies ukuya phambili from 2018. Yeah. So ngelishwa usisibongile ngenyanisweni abantwana abaqualify.
Okay.
For the child pension.
All right. Nomsa, your thoughts?
Well, asikwazi ukuyiphikisa umthetho omtsha okhoyo kodwa kubhlungu nje ubana abantwana bashiyeke bengenanto ke ngoku emveni koba utata wabeswelekile. So ngelishwa ke kuzawunyanzeleka into ba umama usisibongile kube nguye who will take care of those children.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, yeah.
Ayukuba beshiyeke bengenanto.
Please hold your thought. Please hold your thought. It's okay. Let's take our next caller. Kunani oxolo kulapha ekomane sakomole ehleleni sabona.
Hello, bhuti ninjani?
Siphilile mama kunjani?
Siphilile nathi. Bendicela ukubuza bhuti wethu ngento ye-Absa Trust Fund, ningayibuza na?
Okay, go ahead. Mama oxolo, are you still with us?
Hello.
Yes mama, qhubeka mama, khuluma nathi ma.
Ngicela ukubuza ngento ye-Absa Trust Fund. Umntana utatakhe washona ngo-2011. So bekade efumana imali i-300.
Okay, ukhuluma ngema-trust fund mama, angikuva kahle. I-trust fund?
U-Absa Trust Fund. Kwafika iform yakhona ibhalwe i-Absa Trust Fund.
Okay. Anguva kahle lo buto wakho. Uthe ma-Absa Trust Fund kwede kani ma?
Wayefumana imali khona.
Yes.
And then
Wayefumana imali khona ku-Absa Trust Fund i-300 per month.
ubani?
Utatakhe washona ene-1 year 8 months.
Okay.
So ngoku akasayifumani ke ngoku loo mali. Ngicela ukuzwa ngenza kanjani ukuze amane efumana loo mali. Since wafumana ugcine from last year kuyifumana.
Okay, noxolo siyabonga kakhulu kumbuto wakho. Please stay tuned to SABC 1. Sitachazela emva kwaleli khefu. Alright, mbukeli kasesasike lekhefu lethu lekugcina. Asihlangane ke nasibuya etitolo. Sakumule futhi mbukeli awusesinyundva sikhathe kepha ke kulama minishana lasele khona ke lesesingakuxosha ke. Now before i-break ke noxolo ukhala ngekuthi ke bekathola imali lo umntwana wakhe ke bekathola imali from a certain trust fund and then akasayitholi nyalo le mali. Lo mntwana ngisho ukuthi lo baba wakhe nakashona bekana 1 year and athola imali 300 rand every month kepha nyalo ke ayisavele yo mali leyo. So ungamchazela ukuthini lapho?
I think he will have to go and find out from the trustees from that specific company.
All right.
Yes, they will be able to answer.
All right. Now, I want both of you to, talk to me about the issue of divorce. Nangabe sishade in community of property, and then sesiyahlukana ke nemngami, and then according to umthetho we divorce yethu uthola 50-50, and then what then happens? Uthini kumthetho both on a private and government perspective? Locala ngawe Nomsa, just briefly.
Umthetho kwa private uyamvumela the other spouse to claim from the pension fund of the spouse that they are separating.
Okay.
Yes.
Utfola ilamp sum nakhona.
Yes.
Okay. Does the same apply now government?
Ngokukhawuleza simphiwe naku GPF kunjalo kodwa kune document ebalulekileyo funa siyifumane thina. Funayo ka sifumane i-divorce decree. Singenayo i-divorce decree and a copy of a settlement agreement of the divorce akazoyifumana imali.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Those two documents must be in the application form and then we'll process simbhadala imali yakhe.
Okay.
Zingekho ezo documents ozayifumana.
ngeke ayithola. Alright, siyabonga kakhulu Nomsa-ke nawe Sisonke. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Siyabulela.
Ayike mbukeli sesifika kanjalo maphathifele nehlelo lethu namhla. Let me thank my studio guests for their time this afternoon. Ngithanda ngibonga kanye nani ngebabukeli ngekuba nathi kuze kube ngimanje. Do join us again next time for yet another consumer affairs discussion. From Miss Mphiwe Ngcongwane and the rest of the team, sizinisale kahle, wishing you a great week ahead. Cheers.
Yeah.